In this video, we'll discuss about JUnit different assertion methods. So assert class is an assertion library which is provided by JUnit, and assert class provides different assertion methods which can be used to test different validation conditions in the business logic. So some of these methods are assert array equals. So these are all the methods which are provided by the assert class, and we have already looked into assert equals in one of our previous examples, a simple examples where we created the calculator test and we validated the expected and the actual outcome. And apart from that, there are many more assertion methods. So one of them is assert array equals, which will basically compare two arrays and will determine whether the expected and the actual arrays are equal. Then there is assert false, which is basically to test whether a condition is false. And similar to assert false, there is assert true as well, which will check whether a condition is true. And then there is assert same, and to test whether the objects reference are pointing to the same object. And then there is assert not same, similar to assert same. And there is assert null and assert not null to check whether an object is a null or not null. So we'll see all these methods in one of our examples. So we'll go back to our editor. So in this project that we created earlier, I have created a assertion test class, and in the assertion test class, I have imported all the static libraries from the assert class. All these are already imported. So let's add the test. So I added one of the test for testing for the assertions, and in this, let me explain what this particular method does. So test for assertion have a sample data that we will be using in our test. So there are different way in which we can call our data. It can be used as a parameterized way to call the data, but here I'm simply creating the variables. And so one of the assertions that we have is assert equal, that we have earlier seen. So in assert equal, in this case we are comparing the two objects wherein we have the string 1 and string 2. So string 1 is basically calling a new string which is the name is Jack, and similarly string 2 is also calling Jack, and we are expecting that it should be equal. Then to check whether the condition is true, we have defined a method called we are using the assertion library for assert true, and we are checking whether the value 1 is less than value 2. So in our case, value 1 is 5 and value 2 is 6, and we are like checking whether this should be true. And similar to the assert true, we have assert false assertion, and here again we are checking whether the value 1 is greater than value 2, and we know that it should be false. Then checking whether the object reference is not is object is not null, so we are using assert not null assertion method here on the string 1. So string 1 is supposed to return Jack, and it should not be null. Then we are checking for a object is null condition wherein we are passing string 3. So in our case, string 3 is null, and we are expecting that this should pass. I have defined another assert null condition. Assert null condition wherein I'm passing string 6, and the string 6 is a so to say blank value or a null value, but it is just a space. So I'm expecting that this should fail. So this should fail because I'm basically passing some value. And then there is assert same assertion method in which I'm comparing, or I'm checking whether the string 4 and string 5 are same. So basically assert same should check whether the object reference is same. So since they are both the same string ABC and ABC, I'm expecting that they should return as true. Then assert not same, in which I'm like sending string 1 and string 3. Now since we know that string 1 is Jack and string 3 is null, I'm expecting that this should not be same and it should pass. And the last one is assert array equal. So here we are checking for the array. So the array in this case, in our test data, we have two array. One is the expected array in which we are calling three arrays, 1, 2, and 3, and the result array is also 1, 2, 3. So we are expecting that these two arrays should be equal. So if we say array not equal, then it will fail. So let's run our test and see what is the result. So here I'm expecting that the assert null should fail since it is not null and have some value. So let us run our test. So I'm going to run as JUnit test, and okay, so it did run, and if we check our assertion result, we'll see that the assertion error has resulted in error, and if we double click on it, it will show that this is a line which is failing, which is string 6. Now let me comment out this particular assertion and let me run again, and we'll see the result. So in this case, we see the failure is null because everything has returned true. So whatever condition we have defined earlier, they are all true, and that's why it is passing. So these are some of the few simple examples that you can use in your test case to check different validation conditions, and it is very easier to implement. Now, since we are using the data in this method itself, there are other ways in which we can call the data for your test methods that we will look into other example. So thank you.